to Los Angeles when he screwed. Nice. Everything else was fine. When you're here in the movies, he had a lot of extras, but it was still kind of, frustrating. It took about 2 weeks to pack all those books. See them all. But I was so happy that his Kickstarter was so successful. You guys should really check out Aaron's comic. He said he was the character designer on the page. He's now character designer on Brandon Cunningham for originally Jonah was the character designer on that, but he went, I don't. So he told him to hire Aaron since Aaron has a very similar style. His comic is called Serenity Rose. It's at his website, which is heartshapedSkull.com. It's 500 pages. He finished the whole thing and put it up on Kickstarter. He was only asking for $5,000 and he got $64,000. Wow. Pretty good. But it's beautiful stuff. It's a story about a teenage witch who can make money. Monies. It's good.
Good morning, Rikki. Now, you may have heard of this t-shirt where Gur is depicted doing a little dance and wearing glasses and saying, "I like big books and I cannot lie." Now, let's put it this way. I love that relatable characters are encouraging children to read, but I'm having a hard time picturing Gur saying that. And I kind of want to see it become canon. Oh, you're already getting ready for what I was going to ask next. Could you read it, but act almost as if someone has a gun to your family's head?
What?
Yes. How is it? Just say the line, "I like
Did you just
big
say the
books."
thoughts in your head, or you actually asking me something?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Could you say the lines, "I like big books and I cannot lie" in a Gur voice?
I like big books that I cannot lie. It sounds terrible. I like big books and I cannot lie. Woo!
Thank you.
The show was anti, if anything, it was anti-relatability in pop culture. But I just think question for mustache boost thing.
Long time.
It's a 6-month-long song. We don't have the iTunes version. Here, I'll do it as ukulele. The worst idea in my life? What?
Your life experiences.
Like the worst idea I've ever had in my life? It's a girl I dated in high school. Think of that one. Not casual. There was actually a girl I broke up with in high school because I took her to see, she was a model, she was super pretty. And I took her to see Little Shop of Horrors, and she hated it, so
So I have a question about your art. What's your favorite medium to work with? Like, do you like to draw? What do you like to draw with? Pastels, paint?
Well, it used to be oil pastels, my favorite, but I've really been getting into pen and ink again lately. I used to do pen and ink all the time about 20, 25 years ago. I just got out of it. But recently I've been buying tons of sketchbooks, just drawing a lot, making many monster funny drawings and stuff. So But I still do love color. It's like even when I finish a black and white picture, I'm like, color. I just stop myself. I'm trying to retrain some of the parameters of my brain, not just in terms of what's inside the line part, but actually focus on the line itself, the contours and the silhouettes. That was actually when I was a kid. I used to do these art books, big art books. I forgot the name of the artist. They were like animation artists. The guys from Disney. Yeah. But they were beautiful, and that they just showed you what was most important in animation. One of the things that always stuck in my head was the contour lines and the silhouette of the character. Like don't draw a character who is doing, like you want a character who can express themselves. If you can avoid doing this, and instead have them do this, the silhouette is stronger. So that's especially true in animation. Anytime you can get, and what that means is like when they say the silhouette is stronger, you need to take out all the interior of the line, of the character, and make them just black, entirely solid black. You still tell that that's a character doing something, and you have a strong silhouette. So that's why one reason I'm doing mini drawing. I want to explore more of that aspect of the work. Still, I've drawn just I think I said before that I didn't know that I couldn't see until I was in the 6th grade. Everybody just thought that I just like sitting in the front of the class. So all my earliest memories are very blurry. So when I paint, like on Zim, my favorite thing to paint are the nebulas and the space scenes. Because I just like the big, I feel very peaceful and at home with like smudgy, fuzzy things, like puppets.
Thank you.
Hi, Ricky.
Hi.
I have a question to ask you. If Gurr and Richard Horvitz's Alpha 5 from Power Rangers were to meet, would they ever get along?
Oh, Gurr could get along with anybody. Alpha 5 would just be yelling a lot. Alpha 5 would just like, just form the Megazord already. Why are you not doing that? Just form it now, not at the end. Form it now. What is wrong with you people?
Oh my God. Oh.
But they don't. They get beaten up by monsters over and over. Gurr would just be chewing on something.
This is kind of a weird question, but would you be willing to sign my big Gurr
Oh, yeah, I can do that at the autograph.
Hi, during the panel yesterday, you got interrupted at the end. You were talking about one of your influences. You were saying she was a Finnish artist. I wanted to hear the end of that.
Yeah, Tove Jansson. Spelled Tobejansson. She does she created Movement Control. They're having a big celebration in Europe, in Japan, over Tove and her works right now because she died in 2001. She was 87, but this year she would have been 100. So there's all these. There's a museum that's showing that's showing all her art supplies. I really wanted to go, but I couldn't make it. Here. But Tove's, if you ever get a chance to look at, like, they know her work in Japan and Finland, Sweden, lots of parts of Europe, and England, especially Australia, all the way in Australia, because a lot of things are in England and over in Australia. But Movement Control, he's like, you can take a look him up. I've been moving all over. If you look at Movement Control on Google, you'll see this fat little photo-like creature. So the thing I like about Toby's writing, she did 9 moving books. They're what they would call nowadays chapter books for children. And then she did 7 volumes worth of comic strips of Moving Full also that came out in Europe. This is from like 1945 to 1970. She also did she did 3 novels and then a whole bunch of short story collections. But the thing I like about her work is that it's all about isolation. It's all about how her motto was art and love. Love and work. That was the most important thing to her, was the love of her family and then work. And work to her was just art, because she grew up in an artist family. Her mother was an illustrator, her father was a sculptor who was suffering from post-traumatic stress. He was involved in the Finnish Civil War, and he would get up in the middle of the night and said he'd smell a fire somewhere in the city, and we get the family up before him. Oh, we have to go find the fire. And he just wanted to watch it, like burn. Very strange. But that's what she grew up in Finland, surrounded by this stuff. And it's all reflected in her stories, the ideas of how isolation actually helps you grow as an artist. And while you want your friends to be around you, it's actually really healthy to actually just go away alone for a while. She would get very frustrated if she couldn't be alone. When she needed to be to do her painting or to do her art or to do her writing. And she would, to compensate that, she moved to an island with just her and a friend. And but because she was famous, people would still find her like boats, so people would show up to her island and go, "Hi, we're here because we love you." And so she would get very frustrated. She would leave everything to her girlfriend to take care of it. And she would go and like roll giant rocks around the island. She was so frustrated that we found her again. But I just like her ideas on life were just about how if you have too many things in your mind that are crowding out, you can't think. And that's the problem I have a lot of times. There's too many voices in my head. Not like out there. Yeah, like Richard. I get my own thoughts crowded out. I can't function anymore. That's what I like about work. I would recommend reading for her adult novels. I would recommend reading a book called The Summer Book. It's about an 80-year-old woman and a 6-year-old girl who live on an island in Finland, and their conversations with each other. To me, they're just wonderful. Because the little girl is the pessimist, and then the grandmother's just like, but yeah, she was a huge inspiration to me. And I like, other people like Douglas Adams, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. My favorite movies have always been things like, actually my 3 favorite movies are The Meaning of Life, Time Bandits, and Brazil,
Nice.
by Terry Gilliam. He has a new movie coming out. Terry Gilliam has a new movie coming out in America next month called The Zero. It basically looks like Brazil Part 2. But I like those very existential stories, meaning of life movies that also have to be comedies. But yeah, that's what I like. Thanks, Kristen.
Hi. I really like your color work, and InvaderCON has some of the most beautiful palettes I've seen on the show.
Thank you.
And I'd love to know kind of more of your thought process on how you pick those colors. Do you have a palette that you work from, or is it intuitive?
I have not so much. Well, maybe it's a palette. It's more like an obstacle. I don't like a lot of what I consider to be ugly colors. I like Ren and Stimpy. It's a funny show, weirdly edited, but I hate the colors. I get depressed looking at the colors in Ren and Stimpy or Fred Flintstone or the Jetsons or any of that kind of barbaric age stuff. But likewise, I also get depressed if I look at some of the cartoons in the 80s, like Jim and the Holograms, things like that. It's like, and I know with the Hanna-Barbera stuff, Fred Flintstone and then later Nickelodeon, John I linked the two because he was a huge fan of that stuff. They were going for this, I think, a pastel color palette, but I don't think they hit it. Instead, they hit a lot of grays and browns. And brown can look beautiful with a lot of stuff. It can look beautiful with blue, red, shades of it, and shades that are within the pastel range. But they look terrible with gray. Once you get gray in there, it wrecks so many things. To me, the colors in those shows remind me of like something that you left out on a sidewalk in California in the summer. And it just got bleached out, and it just looks so ugly and stained after a while. And likewise, in the 80s, everybody went, "Hey, we invented color," and they just crapping color into everything. They went super, day glow and neon. It was revolting. It was too much. So I try to balance the colors by making sure that I don't have an inappropriate amount of brown next to the wrong colors, and I try to leave out gray as much as possible. That gray just ruins everything. The only way that gray actually ever works is if it's next to a lot of very soft actual pastel colors, but nowhere near brown. Those two, they'll kill everything every time. And likewise, try to keep out too much black. If you can substitute indigo blue for black, that will enrich your color palette too. Because once you throw black in there, it becomes like a dead weight in the illustration. But you can fool people into thinking that you're looking at black by doing indigo blue or even deeper shades of indigo blue. Likewise, when I'm choosing colors on a color wheel, I try to go with what I consider to be pure colors, not too bright, but pure colors. So an example would be like if I want a yellow, I don't want that yellow to have green in it, because especially if it's someone's hair, and I've seen a lot of colors do this. You look like a yellow that is actually too close to green on the color spectrum. And what happens is, especially in print, it comes out green. And even if it is yellow, your eye is seeing that green over the yellow. Yellow rests between green and orange. So choose the yellows that are closer to orange, and you'll get a brighter, more vibrant yellow. And likewise, blue has the same problem. Blue is between green and purple. If you choose the blue that is closer to purple, it will be purple. Your eye will just think it is purple. So try to choose blues that are closer to green, not too far into green, but so it's like to me it's a real delicate balance. But it's also why you see a lot of Hollywood posters using what I call blue orange, blue orange, teal, and kind of sometimes rich but sometimes soft orange. And that's because blue and orange are complementary, but the blue that they are specifically using is one that is closer to green, and that's proper to do that. But for a while, all of the posters in Hollywood movies were orange. And Harry Potter things where Liam Neeson's punching somebody, everything was orange. And it's only just now started to brighten up a little bit because people are noticing that they use some more colors in these posters. If you look at Guardians of the Galaxy poster that has purple and orange and blue and yellow, it's a really nice poster. It's got a lot of goodness in it. That's a good example for Ryan. That's color.
So I have two questions about Gur. Gur is one of my two favorite characters along with Sizzler. And I was kind of disappointed that they didn't get to meet when Sizzler kidnapped Zim. How would have Gur reacted with Sizzler, and do you think he would have left Concordia along with Zim?
I don't think, the thing is with Gur, People always ask, what does Gura think of this? What does Gura think of this? Gura's really easy to figure out in any situation. All you have to do is think, am I giving him something? Yes. He's happy. Am I taking it away? He is so sad. Whatever you give him, he's going to love. Whatever you take away, even if he's never seen it before in his life, it's his favorite thing ever because it's in front of him at that moment. He's now sad. That's the easiest way to write Gura. So if you put Sizzler in front of him, he would probably think it's his. And if Sizzler left his sight, he would either forget that he was there, or move on to something else, or he would get sad. But he would most likely, if he was on food 48, he would just become gigantic. Which is what I did when I was a kid. I had a problem where my grandmother was from England, and every time she lived in the United States, far away, but she had this thing where she just liked to feed and kill children. She was like witch or something. So she would come out to visit, and she'd love to just put food in front of me constantly, or I would vomit. And if you put it in front of me, I would just keep eating. What it was, and she'd be like, mostly in restaurants too. Yeah,
The second question was if Zip managed to take over the Arkan Empire and became the smallest, would Gur have somehow managed to turn all the other robots to act like him? And what do you think how that situation would play out? Like imagine 100,000 of Gurs running around all over the Arkan Empire.
They were destroyed. Not on purpose.
Hi, my question's actually for you and Patty. We do comics and stuff together, and I was wondering, some couples don't work so well together, so how do you do these projects together without...
We don't have children. So that takes a lot of stress off.
I met Rikki when he was only 19 years old, so he's like my childhood sweetheart.
That was 1990.
It's a while.
We'll actually be married this Halloween, 20 years. We just, our focus is always art.
And music.
And
I
music.
think it helps to marry somebody who loves the same music, because there's something about that level of brainwave of communication where it's like, it seems like if you like the same music, then you're pretty much getting along with everything else. If you're liking the same movies, it's like we don't have that weird need to separate friends from each other to go like I don't have to go out with the girls to enjoy it.
Yeah, we have all the same friends.
We all have the same friends, and we all enjoy, pretty much the same stuff, which is a nice harmony. So I don't know, it's kind of worked out, the chemistry just worked out. I don't know, I think it's hard if you're opposites. I really don't believe in the opposites attract me.
Yeah.
You have to have some sort of common interest. And our common interest was actually music and the fandom and the art and all that.
Art.
I mean, we're fans of
Yeah, we met at Disneyland.
Is that California? Through an animation club, so.
Long time ago. So long ago.
Hi, it's Iris. Hope you're having a nice day. I'm sure this question has come up more than once at this point, but because you're a person who really likes his own space and his own quiet time and is very patient with everyone, and you play such a loud character that Hot Topic loves to kind of explode out, have you got any funny stories of like fans or little kids coming up to you and like screaming on the top of their lungs thinking that you'd be a really eccentric person, and then like kind of the realization hitting them? Do you have any funny stories about that?
Yes, but I've done a lot of shows, a lot of conventions, and yeah, most of the kids I meet think that I'm going to be exactly like her. which if I was, they'd probably be killed. I still think he has like a basement of things he's broken. Some of them used to be alive. But you know, a lot of actors aren't like the characters that they play. I always remember an aunt of mine that went to go. She was a big fan of this show called Laverne and Shirley that came on in the '70s, and it was an odd couple type story where one of the roommates was sloppy and big mouth and all that sort of thing, and the other roommate was the quiet, super clean one, but very fastidious sort of thing. And she went to a somewhere where they were going to both talk together, and she was so excited, and she was appalled to see that the one that was super clean and fastidious and quiet was just this cursing loudmouth thing in real life, and that the one that was the sloppy one was like just quiet and mousy. I think some people get surprised, but that actors are just acting. Like my mother actually gets upset if a handsome man plays a villain. She thinks all villains should be played by ugly men, so she can hate them more. She was very confused by the last Star Trek movie because she'd never seen Benedict Cumberbatch before. And she said, he was too handsome to be a villain. But he's an actor. He can play whatever he wants.
So this is a curious question. Gur's found the trash can in the first episode. Was he just like a failed test, or was there Urkin before his in that used him and there's a bad experience?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would love to find out why he was in the trash. They threw some junk at him. Yeah, I always thought that what does the G stand for? It's probably garbage. But maybe he knows it's garbage. Of course, that would imply that the Urkins have the same sort of alphabet that we do. That's so confusing. Yeah, I don't know the story why he was in there, but I would love to know. It would be actually pretty fun to do a story on what he had done wrong as a sir that got him in there.
Rikki, I have a question.
Oh, good.
Does Gur think Sam and him are friends?
Yes, he does. He thinks they're really good friends because they live together. If Gur lived with like a mouse, he would think that's his best friend too. If he lived with some lint, he would think But that's a good question. Thank you.
Anybody have any questions?
I have one. I'm always curious about humans, and I'm curious about where and how you grew up. Did you grow up in the country, on a farm, were you city, that sort of thing, and the same with Powder. How did she grow up?
Well, we grew up
I'm a valley girl.
Yeah.
Stepping out of Valley, California.
We're both from Southern California. I'm originally I was born in a place called Rialto, California, or Montana, which is part of Rialto. It was at the time a granite pit. They mined granite there. So I have these pictures of me on my bicycle, wearing my favorite crayon shirt, riding through these dunes of just mining pits. I hated it. When I found out that my dad was born in England and that he came here to live in that area, I was so angry. Because I knew they had trees there. So I've always been wanting to go somewhere else. But we're still in Southern California, but I don't live in that area anymore. We now live in a place called Pasadena.
Yeah, there's trees
There are trees there, yeah.
Yeah, I live in the city pretty much because San Fernando Valley was right next to the sauce. Sit on that. Sit on that? Yeah. I'm a big mouth anyway, I don't need this. I'm from San Fernando Valley and that's pretty much right next to Los Angeles and Hollywood. So I hate to say it, but I was pretty much a mall rat growing up because the valley, there's a mall on every corner. But also I used to love going to Hollywood and to little dance clubs. Goth. Rikki was a goth. And
I'm a post-goth Amish queen.
yeah. Still love the same music. But anyway, yeah. And so we kind of met through Disneyland and Club, and I was just kind of in that central hub of being really influenced with the animation and anime and all that stuff. And I'm half Japanese, and I live next to Little Tokyo, so it was real easy for me to get Japanese comics and videos and whatnot. So we kind of like met through the animation club, and he was more like a country boy to me, even though he was still in a suburb.
Well, that area I lived in, it was 90 miles from LA.
City mouse, and he was the country.
It's the area where everybody from the Midwest sort of moves to when they want to go to California, but they're too afraid to go to California.
Like Dust Bowl era.
Yeah, actually, my mother, my dad was from England, but my mother, her parents were from Oklahoma originally. They came during the Dust Bowl, the Depression and all that. But my dad actually came to America on the Queen Mary. I just found his paperwork for that. My grandmother was British, and during World War II, my grandfather was an American soldier, fought World War II, and then found my grandmother and said, "Come to the United States." And they had my dad in England, and then they sailed on the Queen Mary to America.
I'm German Japanese, by the way.
Yeah.
I click my heels and bow. But I don't really have a war story, thankfully. But yeah, my German grandparents, they fled Germany during the war. They went to Chicago to live. And then my dad was born in Chicago, but then went to California. And then fell in love with a Japanese American lady who was my mom. Who was in California.
His last name is Wolfgarth, but it originally was von Wolfgarth.
Yeah.
But during World War II, they changed
Sure.
it.
Yeah, they didn't want Vaughn anymore during the war.
My great grandfather on my dad's side was a vaudeville singer and dancer, and so they always lived in hotels, and that was the
That's
father.
what's
Of,
happening.
yeah, that's where I remember. That was the father of my dad's dad. They both my last name is Simons, not Simmons. That's because the name is actually Simon with an S. And my great-grandfather, my great-grandmother, Samuel and Lillian Simon, they married, changed it to plural.
We're hoping they're not brother and sister though.
Which I wish they had left it just Simon, because everybody thinks the name's Simmons. It would make things easier. I was almost named Oliver. I would have been Oliver Simon. Write a book over that.
In Goes Crazy and stuff, it was shown that Gur used some pretty brutal means to obtain his ends in duty mode. Was that, do you believe that would be a result of his questionable build corrupting his programming, Zim's locking him in duty mode using questionable programming, or maybe it's just something that was always bubbled deep under Gur's surface?
Are you from Australia?
Yes.
Trying to decipher all that. What did he say?
We have someone from Perth up here.
I can repeat it if you want.
Yeah.
So, the brutalness that Gur displayed, was it because he's poorly built? Was it a fault?
Oh, you mean when he went red?
When he was locked in duty mode?
Oh, well, the problem with that was that in that episode, Gur goes crazy and stuff.
Yeah.
Was that Zim had turned it all the way up to to such a degree where Gurr became intolerant of Zim's stupidity. He was so good now at everything he was doing that he saw the flaws and everything that was in with Zim. And I guess that tells you that if all you have to do is tweak any of the Sirs, and they can kill the entire Urban Empire anytime they wanted.
I know this episode never aired, because, but in the Movie News to Do, why does Gary call Div Mary?
He's just, things stick inside his head. I think the script writers threw the name Mary in there because Mary Harrington was our producer. So he was going to yell out a name that didn't make any sense. So it became Mary.
Also, your mother's name.
My mother. I didn't know that.
You guys collect Disney pins?
Actually,
no,
a
no.
few Disney things. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You see those people at Disneyland, they can survive a drive-by shooting. They're just, I'm here for the pin.
No, my biggest thing, I love Haunted Mansion, I love Jack Skellington, and I love Alice in Wonderland. They're usually a variation on all that stuff.
I really like the park.
The park itself is like a museum.
The thing that's always the thing that's always interesting to me about California is that especially when you go up the coast, it's basically this place where a bunch of people who had some extra money went, I'm going to build my own little kingdom here. And so you have Disneyland, and you have Hearst Castle, and you have as you go up the coast, you have Hearst Castle, and you have the Madonna Inn, which is like this pink mansion. Everything is pink and it's turned into a hotel. And there's Hearst Castle is a castle that was built by Randolph Hearst. There's all this art in it. They have tours of all these places now. There's the Winchester House. Sarah Winchester went crazy. She thought all the ghosts of all the people that the Winchester rifle had killed were haunting her. So she kept building rooms in her house to confuse the ghosts. But sometimes she would sleep in a different room every night, and
So she wouldn't be found.
but sometimes she would get lost in the house, and people wouldn't be able to find her. They would just hear her and they're like, help! So a lot of the doors don't go anywhere. There's like stairs that just lead off into space. There's a place, there's Anderson's split pea soup. As you drive up California, you see these signs saying 200 miles to split pea soup. So there's all these like weirdos with a lot of money who just like, I'm going to build my own kingdom here. That's the thing I always like about California. Disneyland's part of that. Walt Disney said, I'm going to build Disneyland. Of course, then he went to Florida and went, I'll make it a world. Yeah. He started